Your heart doesn't just beat, it remembers. It remembers the stress you carried, the salt you reached for in lonely meals, the mornings you skipped breakfast because worry felt heavier than hunger. But what if healing didn't need a prescription? What if it began in your kitchen, quietly, gently, today? I've met many patients who say, "My heart's tired, I can feel it." And what I tell them is this: your heart isn't giving up, it's asking for less fear, more softness, and a different kind of nourishment. You've fed others for years, family, guests, even strangers. But now, it's time to feed the one organ that's carried you through it all. So, today let's walk through 8 humble foods, not exotic, not expensive, just healing, the kind you can taste. 1. Blueberries, tiny shields for your arteries. They sit in your palm, quiet, blue, almost weightless. But don't be fooled by their size. These little spheres carry something powerful. Blueberries are more than fruit. They're nature's soft armor, woven with anthocyanins, antioxidants that cool the inflammation that often hides deep in aging arteries. They work like gentle repairmen, helping your blood vessels stay flexible, open, forgiving. In medical terms, they improve endothelial function. But in human terms, they help your heart breathe better. I often think of them as tiny shields, lining the inside of your arteries like protective hands. One by one, quiet, consistent, never loud. You don't need a blender or a fancy recipe. Just scatter a few over warm oats or drop them gently into a bowl of yogurt. Watch them sink, soften, release. That's the rhythm they bring. Not urgency, not pressure, but nourishment in slow motion. I had a patient once who said, "I started with blueberries. That was all I could manage, but it felt like a promise to myself." And isn't that what healing is? Not the biggest effort, but the smallest commitment honored daily. So try just one handful. Eat them slowly. Let them burst on your tongue, and let your heart know you're beginning to protect it again. 2. Oats, the gentle sweepers of cholesterol. They don't make noise. They don't demand praise. They simply show up, bowl after bowl, doing the work others overlook. Oats are a kind of humble medicine. Inside their soft grains lives beta-glucan, a form of soluble fiber that acts like a silent broom, sweeping away excess cholesterol before it clings to the walls of your arteries. I tell patients, it's like cleaning the hallway before the guests arrive. You may not see the dust, but your heart does. Each spoonful is an act of quiet care, not glamorous, not exotic, just gentle maintenance, the kind that makes a difference over time. And it's not just what oats take away, it's what they give. Warmth, steady energy, a reason to sit still in the morning and begin again. You can soak them overnight with cinnamon and chia seeds. You can cook them slowly and add a spoonful of blueberries. You can even blend them into baked goods if you crave softness in a new form. What matters is the ritual, the pause, the knowing that today your breakfast wasn't just food, it was prevention. It was softness. It was love delivered in a bowl. One patient once said to me, "I didn't believe oats could change anything, but after 2 weeks I didn't just feel lighter, I felt cared for." That's the difference between eating and healing. And that's what oats offer. Not noise, not flair, just a steady sweep so your heart can walk more freely. 3. Almonds, quiet strength in every crunch. They don't ask for much. No cooking, no soaking. Just your presence. And a quiet bite. Almonds are small, yes, but they carry within them a kind of still power. Inside each one is a trio your heart needs. Healthy fats that balance cholesterol. Vitamin E that shields your cells from wear. And fiber that slows the rush of sugar in your blood. It's not flashy, it's not fast. But sometimes healing comes in the form of crunch. A slow chew that says, "I'm here. I'm listening to my body." I like to think of almonds as tiny anchors. They hold your energy steady. They ground your blood pressure. They remind your heart that strength doesn't have to be loud. A handful, 8 to 10, in the quiet space between lunch and dinner. Not with a screen, not while walking, just sit. Feel them crack open. Let your jaw slow. Let the oil coat your tongue and the quiet coat your nervous system. One of my older patients told me, I used to snack to distract. Now I snack to return. And that's what almonds offer. Not just nutrients, but a moment to come back to yourself. So, today if the world feels scattered, open a small jar of almonds. Take one, then another. Let each one be a step closer to stillness. Your heart notices. Even when you forget, it remembers. Which of these have already made their way into your kitchen? And which one is your heart still waiting for? 4. Spinach, the leaf that softens stiffness. Some days it's not pain that tells you something's wrong. It's the tightness in your chest, in your breath, in the feeling that your body isn't flowing the way it used to. That's where spinach enters, not as a cure, but as a companion. This leafy green isn't loud. It's quiet medicine. Rich in vitamin K to keep your blood vessels strong, vitamin C to support your cellular repair, and vitamin A to maintain the soft rhythm of immunity and circulation. But beyond the science, spinach does something tender. It relaxes you from the inside. I often think of it as green silk, not just in how it looks when it wilts in warm oil, but in how it moves through the body, softening stiffness you didn't know you were holding. One woman told me, I didn't expect much when I started adding spinach to my meals, but after a few weeks even my walking felt easier. I felt looser, like my body exhaled. You don't need a full salad, just a handful into a smoothie, or a gentle steam with olive oil and garlic. Let it glisten like morning leaves after a light rain. Sometimes what the body needs isn't more effort, it's ease, and spinach offers that in every quiet bite. So, if your joints feel resistant, if your breath feels tight, try green, try softness, try the leaf that spent its whole life turning light into life, and is now ready to give it to you. 5. Salmon, fat, that fights for you. We were taught to fear fat, to trim it, avoid it, label it wrong, but not all fat is the same. Some actually fight for you. Salmon carries a rare kind of fat, rich in omega-3 fatty acids that move like peacemakers inside your body. They lower inflammation, calm your blood pressure, and help cholesterol find its balance again. Not too high, not too low. I often think of salmon as cool water poured over hidden fire, the kind of fire that builds slowly with age, stress, stiffness, that quiet ache you can't name, but feel in your heartbeat after bad sleep. When you eat salmon, you don't just feed hunger, you offer your body relief. One of my patients once said, I didn't expect a piece of fish to make me feel lighter in the chest, but after a few weeks, I breathe easier. It doesn't take much. A modest fillet, grilled or baked, not fried, a squeeze of lemon, a few herbs. Serve it beside warm rice or soft greens. No complicated recipe, just warmth, oil, and attention. Make it once a week, not because a chart says so, but because your heart deserves a ritual too. Salmon doesn't shout. It doesn't fix everything overnight, but it whispers to the inner fire, settle. You're not in danger anymore, and sometimes that's the medicine we need most. 6. Avocado, smooth energy for a steady pulse. Some foods feel like a yes, not loud, not demanding, just yes. Avocado is one of them. Software green, weighty without being heavy. It arrives like a quiet presence in the kitchen, asking for nothing more than a slice, a spoon, a moment. Inside, it holds monounsaturated fats, the kind your heart understands, the kind that smooth out your cholesterol profile, raising the good, softening the bad. It also brings potassium, which relaxes the tension in your blood vessels, like a sigh through a tight hallway. I often think of avocado as a hand pressed gently against the chest, not to stop pain, but to remind your heart it's allowed to slow down. One man told me, I started eating half an avocado each morning. After a month, I noticed I didn't feel that jittery pressure behind my ribs anymore. It was like my heart had more space. That's what this fruit does. It creates room inside your body, inside your breath. You don't need a chef, just slice it open. Spread it across toast. Add a sprinkle of lemon and a pinch of sea salt. Let the oil coat your lips. Let the calm coat your nervous system. And if it feels small, remember, the body doesn't always need big changes. It needs consistent softness. So, When your pulse feels too loud or your chest too tight, try avocado, not for the trend, not for the vitamins, but for the moment when food feels like a form of peace. 7. Garlic, the warrior root. Your blood trusts. It's small, pungent, easy to overlook on the counter. But garlic isn't just a spice, it's a sentinel. Inside each clove is alixin, a natural compound that forms only when garlic is crushed. That moment of pressure, that's when the medicine is born. Allicin moves through your bloodstream like a soft warrior. It lowers blood pressure. It reduces inflammation in the walls of your vessels. It helps your heart beat with less resistance. One patient of mine once said, "I started adding garlic to my broth every night. It was just a habit at first, but after a while, my hands weren't as cold. My face felt less tight. Something inside had opened." That's what garlic does. It doesn't attack, it clears. Like a broom and shield combined, it sweeps and protects. And though its scent may be bold, its purpose is quiet, to help your blood move more freely. To remind your body that healing can come from what's already in your kitchen. Try crushing a clove and stirring it into olive oil with a pinch of salt. Let it sit. Let it bloom. Then drizzle it over warm vegetables or soft bread. Or stir it into broth, where the warmth draws out its strength without losing its soul. You don't need much, just a clove, crushed with intention, taken like a ritual, because even warriors need to be invited, and garlic is one of the oldest ones we've ever known. 8. Olive oil, liquid gold for aging hearts. Some foods heal in silence, others carry the memory of love itself. Olive oil is one of those, not just an ingredient, a ritual, a thread that ties generations, kitchens, and bodies together. Its richness comes from monounsaturated fats, the kind that soften the walls of your arteries, lift your good cholesterol, and hush the inflammation you didn't know had taken root. But beyond the science, there's something almost sacred about it. I've seen it poured with no measuring, just instinct, just care, into a pan, over a salad, onto bread still warm from the oven. One woman in her 70s once told me, "When I drizzle olive oil, I remember my mother's hands, not rushing, just knowing. It makes me feel safe again." That's what olive oil does. It nourishes the body, yes, but it also nourishes memory. It wraps healing in familiarity. And your heart, it feels that. Because arteries aren't just tubes, they're messengers. They carry not just blood, but emotion. And when they're calm, you feel it. Use olive oil where others might use butter. Let it rest over steamed spinach. Let it glisten across roasted vegetables. Let it sink into toast and carry warmth into your morning. It doesn't need to be flashy, just consistent, just present. Like a golden river that runs through your kitchen and through your life. And maybe, through this ritual, you'll remember. The most powerful medicines are often the ones you've held in your hands all along. You've served plates for children, grandchildren, neighbors, and holidays. You've offered food as love, but now it's time to let food love you back. Not with rules, not with restrictions, but with rituals, with rhythm. 1 handful of blueberries, 1 spoon of oats, 1 clove of garlic. That's enough to begin. Your heart doesn't need perfection, it needs remembering. Try 1 food, just 1, and see how your body responds. Did your energy shift? Did your breath feel softer? Did your heart feel heard? Leave a note below. Share the food your heart trusts most. And if someone you love is also aging quietly, send them this message, not as advice, but as an invitation, because your heart has carried so many. Maybe now, it's time to be carried back.